The unexpected guest the battlefield was quiet now. Only the smell of smoke and metal filled the cold night air. The human soldier walked slowly through the ruins, his boots crunching over broken stones. His name was Adam. His uniform was dirty and torn. His left arm hurt, but he kept walking. He just wanted to reach his bunker and sleep. Adam had been fighting on this alien planet for months. The war between humans and the alien race, the Valari, had destroyed everything here. The land was empty, dark, and full of strange noises at night, but Adam was used to it now, or at least he thought he was. Finally, he reached the camp. The guards nodded at him but said nothing. Nobody talked much these days. Everyone was tired and scared of what might come next. Adam walked to his bunker, opened the door, and stepped inside. It was small, just a metal room with a bed and a table. His helmet and gun rested in the corner. He sat on the bed and took off his boots. His hands shook a little. His head felt heavy. He lay down and stared at the ceiling. The dim light above flickered. At least here, he thought, he could rest, but something was strange. He closed his eyes, but soon he felt it, a soft breeze across his face, though the door was shut. Then he felt it again, like someone breathing. Near him. Adam opened his eyes. At first, he thought he was dreaming, but she was there. A figure sat at the end of his bed, quiet and still. Tall, slender, almost glowing in the faint light. Her skin was pale silver, her eyes bright and deep like a starry sky. Her hair floated softly around her face, though there was no wind. Adam froze. His heart started pounding. He tried to speak, but his voice caught in his throat. Who are you? He finally whispered. The figure just looked at him, her head tilted slightly, her eyes unblinking. Adam pushed himself up slowly, his hand reaching for the pistol on the table. But the moment he moved, she moved too, closer, her eyes locked onto his, and he stopped. He didn't know why, but he couldn't move anymore. His hand hung in the air, inches from the gun, but his body wouldn't listen. His legs felt heavy. His chest tightened. It was as if her gaze held him there. She didn't speak, but somehow he could hear her. Not with his ears, but inside his mind. Don't, her voice whispered in his thoughts. You don't need that. Adam swallowed. Hard, his hand dropped to his lap. He tried to look away, but her eyes drew him back every time. Who are you? He asked again, his voice quiet, almost a plea now. She didn't answer, not with words. Instead, she slid closer, her silver hands resting gently on the blanket. Adam could feel the weight of her presence, the strange warmth she carried. Her lips didn't move, but the voice came again, soft and calm. You are mine now. Adam shook his head slightly, though he couldn't seem to break free of her gaze. No, he whispered. You can't. I don't belong to you. You already do. Her words sent a shiver through him. He wanted to stand, to shout, to push her away, but he stayed there, frozen, staring at her. Part of him felt afraid, but another part felt calm. Her hands moved closer. She touched his arm where it hurt, and suddenly the pain was gone. Adam stared at her fingers, then at her face, confused. What do you want? He asked, his voice cracking. Her expression didn't change. She leaned closer, until her face was just inches from his. He could feel her breath now, cool but sweet, like a strange flower. You'll see, she whispered in his mind. Then she sat back, still staring at him. Adam's hands clenched into fists. He couldn't understand what was happening, but one thing was clear. She wasn't going to leave. For a moment, neither of them moved. The room felt smaller, heavier. The dim light above flickered once more, then went out completely. Darkness filled the space, but Adam could still see her glowing faintly at the end of the bed. He didn't know how she got here. He didn't know what she wanted, but he knew he couldn't make her leave. And somehow, he wasn't sure he wanted to. The alien queen stayed there, quiet and calm, her eyes never leaving his. Adam lay back down slowly, still staring at her. His body felt heavy, his thoughts slow. For the first time in weeks, he didn't feel tired anymore. He didn't feel pain. He just felt hers, and she smiled. Asterisk the silent agreement. The next morning, Adam woke up with a strange feeling in his chest. He sat up slowly, blinking at the faint sunlight coming through the small window. The room looked the same. The bed, the walls, the table. All as he had left them. But she was still there. The alien queen sat silently in the corner now, her silver form half hidden in the shadows. Her glowing eyes watched him without blinking. She hadn't moved all night. Adam rubbed his face with his hands. Maybe he was still dreaming. Maybe he was losing his mind. But when he looked at her again, she was still there, watching, waiting. You? You stayed, Adam said finally, his voice hoarse. She didn't answer with words. Instead, her voice echoed in his mind. You are mine now. Adam shook his head and stood up. No, you can't just stay here. I have orders. I have to. Before he could finish, his legs went weak. His knees buckled, and he fell back onto the bed. Her presence in his mind grew stronger. You can't leave me, she whispered in his thoughts. And I can't leave you. This is the agreement. What agreement? He snapped, trying to stand again, but his body refused. His arms and legs felt heavy, like they were no longer his. You already agreed, when you looked into my eyes. Adam swallowed hard. He didn't remember agreeing to anything. But deep down, he felt something had changed last night. He could still feel her inside his thoughts, quiet but powerful. He sat on the edge of the bed and stared at her. What do you want from me? The queen rose slowly and stepped closer. Her presence was overwhelming now, filling the room, filling his head. Not what? She whispered. Who? Adam flinched as she touched his shoulder. A cold chill ran down his spine. Images flashed in his mind. A dead planet, fire and destruction, alien cities falling under human weapons. He saw her people screaming, running. He saw her alone, standing among ruins. Her voice came again, softer this time. You took everything from me, and yet I choose you. Adam stared at her, confused and afraid. Why me? But she didn't answer. Instead, she reached out and pressed her palm against his chest. Warmth spread through him, and his breathing slowed. His fear faded for a moment, replaced by something strange, calm, almost comforting. Then came the knock at the door. Adam jumped, breaking the moment. He glanced at the door, then back at her, but she was already gone, vanished as if she had never been there. Another knock. Adam, you awake? It was Sergeant Cole's voice. Adam stood quickly, still shaken. Yeah, I'm awake, he called back. Cole opened the door and stepped in, frowning. You okay? You look pale. Adam forced a weak smile. Just tired. Cole squinted at him. Well, you better get moving. Briefing in 10 minutes. When Cole left, Adam looked around the room. She was gone, but he could still feel her. Somewhere inside his head. At the briefing, Adam sat quietly at the back. His commander spoke about the next mission, attacking an alien stronghold nearby. Everyone was tense, but Adam barely heard the words. He could feel her watching him. Even here. Then her voice came, low and soft. Don't go. Adam's eyes widened. He looked around, but no one else seemed to hear her. If you go, you die. Adam swallowed hard. His hands shook slightly, but he kept them under the table. The briefing ended, he stayed behind. "What do you want from me?" He whispered under his breath. "You already know," she replied, her voice like a cold wind in his mind. "Stay with me, and I will protect you." That night, Adam lay awake. In his bed. He waited, but she didn't appear right away. Hours passed. Then finally, he felt her again. A faint shimmer in the air, a soft glow in the corner of the room. She stepped out of the shadows, her silver form taller, more radiant than before. "You can't keep me here," Adam said quietly, though his voice trembled. She tilted her head, almost amused. "And yet, you never left." Adam clenched his fists. "I don't belong to you." She moved closer, her eyes locking onto his. He couldn't look away. Her presence wrapped around him like a storm, powerful, cold, impossible to fight. "Belong to me," she whispered, her voice sharper now. "And soon, everyone will know." Adam tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come. His chest felt heavy, his heart beating fast. He could feel her energy pulling him deeper, binding him to her dot suddenly. The air in the room grew colder. The light above flickered and went out. Darkness swallowed the space, except for her glow. She leaned in, her face close to his. Her fingers touched his cheek, her breath cool against his skin. "You are mine," she said again. Then she stepped back into the shadows, her figure fading. But her voice stayed in his mind, echoing louder than ever. "You'll see." Adam sat there in the dark, breathing hard. He felt the weight of her words, the weight of her presence. He didn't know what she wanted, but he knew one thing. He couldn't say no, Dot, not anymore. The other soldiers noticed the camp was alive with noise the next morning. Soldiers moved in and out of the mess hall. Boots struck the metal floors. Engines of heavy machines roared outside the walls, but Adam walked through all of it like a ghost. His uniform was clean now, but his eyes were distant, his steps slow. People moved around him, but he barely noticed Dot in his mind. She was still there, Dot, the alien queen's voice whispered softly, like a song he couldn't escape. "Don't forget." Missini. When he reached the mess hall, a group of soldiers was already sitting at a table, laughing and eating. Sergeant Cole waved him over. "Adam," Cole called, "you're late again. You good?" Adam forced a faint smile. "Yeah, just tired." But as he sat down, he felt it again, her eyes watching him. Somewhere nearby. He looked around quickly. Dot, nothing. Dot still. He could feel her, Dot, and then he heard her in his head, sharper this time. "You're not alone. Even now." He dropped his fork. The clang of metal on metal made everyone turn to look at him. "You okay, man?" One soldier asked Dot. Adam nodded quickly. "Yeah, just lost my grip." But Cole kept staring at him. His brow furrowed. "You don't look right," Cole said. "You didn't look right yesterday either. What's going on?" Adam opened his mouth to answer, but stopped when he felt a sudden coldness at his back. She was here. He could feel her standing behind him, Dot invisible. But real Dot, her voice came, stronger now. "Say nothing. They don't need to know." Adam froze, then nodded slowly. "I'm fine," he said. "Really." Cole narrowed his eyes but didn't press. "All right, just don't make me drag you to medical." Later, in the barracks, Adam sat on his bed. The others were playing cards or cleaning weapons, but Adam just stared at the floor. The queen appeared in the corner of the room, faint but unmistakable. Only he could see her. "You shouldn't be here," he whispered, and, "Yet I am," she replied calmly. "You're going to get me killed." She moved closer, her eyes glowing brighter. "No, I'm keeping you alive. You'll see." One of the soldiers on the next bunk noticed Adam talking to himself and frowned. "Hey, the soldier said. "Who you talking to?" Adam looked up. Quickly. No one. Just thinking. But the soldier kept staring. "You sure? You're acting weird." Adam forced a laugh. "Yeah, just tired." But the man didn't look convinced. That night, after lights out, the room was quiet, except for the sound of breathing and snoring. Adam lay awake, waiting, and she came. She stepped out of the shadows, her silver form shining softly in the dark. She moved silently to his bed and sat at the edge. Adam sat up, his heart racing. "You can't keep doing this," he whispered. She tilted her head, her long fingers brushing the blanket. "I can do whatever I wish. You are mine." Adam shook. His head. "No, I'm not." But she leaned close, her cool breath on his cheek. "Then why haven't you sent me away?" Adam had no answer. She smiled faintly, then placed her hand on his chest. Warmth spread through him. His fear faded. His anger melted. And then someone gasped. Adam froze. One of the soldiers on the next bunk, a young man named Harris, was sitting up, eyes wide in terror. "What the hell is that?" Harris whispered, staring at the glowing figure on Adam's bed. Adam's blood went cold. He looked at the Queen, but she didn't seem surprised. "It's time," she said in his mind. "Let them see." Harris scrambled off his bed, backing away. "Somebody wake up. There's something here." The lights flicked on. Other soldiers woke, confused and angry. "What's going on?" Cole shouted. Harris pointed at Adam's bed, his hand shaking. "There, look." But when everyone turned, she was gone. Adam sat alone on his bed, breathing hard. Cole stormed over. "What the hell is happening?" Harris looked around wildly. She was there. Something silver, sitting on his bed. I saw it. The others laughed nervously. "You're dreaming, man," someone muttered. But Cole didn't laugh. He studied Adam closely. "You," Cole said, his voice low. "You know something, don't you?" Adam swallowed hard. "No, I don't." But Cole's eyes narrowed. "I think you do." That night, Adam was moved to a private room under watch. They didn't trust him anymore. Alone in the small room. Adam sat on the floor with his back against the wall. He covered his face with his hands. "Why are you doing this to me?" He whispered into the silence, and then her voice came again, soft but sharp. "Because they will never understand." "But you already do." Adam looked up, and there she was again, standing in front of him, her eyes blazing brighter than ever. "You're going to get me killed," he said weakly. She stepped closer, her presence filling the room. "No," she replied. "I'm going to make you stronger." Adam stared at her, feeling the weight of her words. Outside, he could hear soldiers whispering about him, their boots moving back and forth as they guarded his door. But inside, it was just the two of them. And deep down, Adam knew he couldn't tell them the truth, even if he wanted to, because she would never let him. The room was colder tonight. Adam sat on the edge of the cot, his hands clasped tightly, his eyes fixed on the floor. The air felt heavy, thick with something he couldn't name. On the other side of the door, he could hear footsteps, the guards pacing back and forth. Their muffled voices carried through the metal wall. "He's hiding something." "I saw him talking to nothing. Commander wants him questioned tomorrow." Adam closed his eyes. He knew they didn't trust him anymore. They were planning something. He could feel it. And then she came. The air shifted. The shadows in the corner stretched, curling toward him like fingers. Slowly, her figure appeared, tall, radiant, terrifying. The alien queen stood before him, her eyes glowing like two distant stars. "You hear them," she said in his mind. Adam looked up, his jaw tight. "Yes, they fear you now." Adam let out a bitter laugh. No, they fear you. They think I'm infected. Or crazy. She tilted her head slightly, her silver hair floating around her face. And what do you think? Adam stared at her for a long moment. I think you've ruined me. Her lips curled into something between a smile and a snarl. No, I've saved you. Adam stood, his fists clenched. Why me? Why not anyone else? Why are you doing this to me? The queen moved closer, her voice softer now. Because you looked at me, and you didn't turn away. Adam froze. He remembered that night, her eyes burning into his body unable to move, his mind unable to fight. He hadn't turned away, Dot, and now he couldn't. She raised a hand and brushed it gently against his cheek. You're stronger than they are, she whispered. And I need someone strong. Adam backed away, his voice breaking. For what? What do you want from me? Her expression hardened, and the warmth in her eyes turned to ice. A choice, she said. Adam frowned. What choice? She straightened, her glow brighter, her presence filling the small room. Tomorrow, your commanders will send you on a mission. They will order you to attack my kind, to destroy what is left of us. Adam's breath caught in his throat. How do you know that? Her voice deepened. I know everything they say, everything they plan. I am already in their minds. But you? She stepped closer, her fingers tapping his chest. You are the only one I trust. Adam swallowed hard. What are you asking me to do? Her eyes glinted. When the time comes, stay with me. Refuse their orders. Protect me. And I will protect you. Adam shook his head slowly. If I refuse, they'll kill me. She leaned in, her lips close to his ear. If you obey, you'll still die. They've already decided. You're not one of them anymore. Adam flinched, his chest tightening. That's not true. But deep down, he knew it was. She pulled back, her gaze sharper now, her voice cold and commanding. This is the deal, Adam. Stay with them, and you burn with them. Stay with me, and you live. Choose. Adam sank back onto the cot, his hands trembling. He didn't answer. Not yet. The queen tilted her head again, her silver hair catching the faint light. Then she stepped back, fading into the shadows, her voice echoing in his mind one last time before she disappeared. You'll choose me. You always do. The next morning, the door opened with a loud clang. Sergeant Cole entered with 2 guards. He didn't smile. On your feet? Cole said sharply. Commander wants to see you. Adam stood slowly, his face blank. They marched him to the command tent. Inside, the commander stood over a large map, pointing at marked positions. When? He saw Adam, his jaw tightened. Sit. Adam obeyed. The commander didn't waste words. We've located their queen's den. You're going with the strike team tonight? You'll plant the charges. Adam blinked. His stomach turned cold. The queen, he said quietly. Yes, the commander confirmed. We end this war tonight. Adam's chest tightened. His hands clenched in his lap. The queen's voice came again in his head. They send you to kill me. Because they know they can't. Adam looked up slowly. What if it's a trap? What if she's stronger than we think? The commander frowned. What are you saying, soldier? Adam swallowed hard. Maybe she's not the enemy. The room fell silent. Cole stepped forward. Sir, he's not thinking straight. He's been off for days. The commander slammed his fist on the table. You will follow your orders, soldier. Do you understand? Adam nodded stiffly. Yes, sir. But inside, he was already sure. He couldn't kill her. That night, Adam stood with the strike team at the edge of a dark canyon. Below, faint lights glowed in the alien tunnels. One soldier handed him the charges. You plant these at the center. Blow the whole nest sky high. Adam took the bag. WOLELESSLY dot. As he descended into the canyon, the air grew colder. The tunnels were quiet, the walls glowing faintly with alien symbols dot, and then, halfway down, she appeared. She stepped out of the shadows ahead of him, taller, brighter, more powerful than ever. They send you to kill me, she said. Her voice like thunder now. Adam dropped the bag of charges. His heart pounded in his ears. She moved closer, her eyes burning into his. But you can still choose. Adam stood there, torn between two worlds, the weight of duty on one side, and the pull of something far more ancient and powerful on the other. Her voice dropped into a whisper. Stay with me, Adam, and I'll show you what they've been hiding. Stay with me, and you'll never be theirs again. Adam reached for her hand, hesitated, and then, slowly, he took it. The queen smiled, her grip firm and cold. Good, she said softly. Now, it begins. The chase. The queen's hand was cold and firm in Adam's. Her silver glow lit the tunnel walls as they stood together in the darkness, surrounded by alien symbols that pulsed faintly on the stone above them. Adam could still hear faint shouting. The strike team had discovered his bag of charges lying on the ground. They know, Adam whispered. The queen's eyes flashed, calm but sharp. Let them come. They cannot take you now. But already the sound of boots echoed through the tunnels, growing louder. They're coming for me, Adam said. They're coming for us, she corrected, and then she turned, her long hair floating like smoke behind her. Run. Adam hesitated for half a second, then followed. The tunnels twisted and turned, narrow in some places, opening into strange chambers in others. The walls were covered with carvings and faint light, but Adam didn't have time to look. Behind them, the shouts grew closer. Flashlights cut through the dark. There, he's down here. Don't let him reach the queen. Bullets clanged. Off the walls. The noise was deafening. Adam ran faster, his breath hot and ragged in his throat. The queen moved ahead of him, gliding more than running, her form almost blinding in the darkness. Whenever they reached a fork in the tunnel, she chose without hesitation. She knew this place, but the soldiers were fast. Too fast. At one point, Adam stumbled over a jagged rock and fell to the ground hard. The queen stopped, her glowing form turning back toward him. Get up, she said sharply. Adam pushed himself up, his palms bleeding from the fall. Suddenly, a shot rang out. Something hot and sharp grazed his arm. He cried out in pain and clutched the wound. The queen's eyes flared bright white. She raised her hand, and the air between them and the soldiers shimmered, then exploded outward in a wave of energy. The soldiers screamed, thrown back by the invisible blast. Adam stared at her, wide-eyed. What was that? She didn't answer, just grabbed his wrist and pulled him deeper into the tunnels. Minutes passed, maybe longer. Adam's chest burned with every breath. The shouting behind them faded, but he knew they weren't far. Finally, the queen led him into a vast, underground chamber. The walls curved high above them, carved with massive alien runes that glowed brighter than anywhere else. At the center was a platform of black stone. Around it stood 4 massive statues of alien queens, each with eyes like stars. Adam stumbled to a stop, staring in awe. This is, he began. My sanctuary, she finished. She let go of his wrist and turned to face him fully. Her glow softened now, though her expression stayed cold and strong. You shouldn't have brought me here, Adam said quietly. You chose to come, she replied. Adam opened his mouth, but then something changed. Above them, high on the walls, more soldiers appeared. Rope lines dropped. Flashlights swept across the chamber. There he is, With her. A voice shouted. Adam backed away instinctively. The queen's head tilted up toward the soldiers. She didn't move, but the air began to crackle with energy. Adam saw the soldiers hesitate. Their voices wavered. She's doing something. Suddenly the ground shook violently, dust falling from the ceiling. The alien runes flared to life, brighter than ever. You have to go, Adam whispered to her. They'll kill you. But she just looked at him, calm and unafraid. No, they'll try. But they won't. Then she turned toward the soldiers and raised both hands. A powerful force swept through the chamber. Wind, light, sound all at once. The soldiers screamed, their guns ripped from their hands, their bodies thrown to the ground. Adam shielded. His eyes from the brightness. When it faded, he looked up and saw the queen standing tall, her form blazing with silver fire. The soldiers lay scattered, groaning and stunned. Adam stood frozen. What are you? He breathed. She turned to him, her voice softer now, but still full of power. I am the last queen of the Valari, the end of my kind, and the beginning of yours. Before Adam could respond, more shouts echoed through the tunnels. Reinforcements. Dozens more soldiers, coming fast. The queen grabbed his hand again, her grip tighter now. Run with me, or they will tear you apart. Adam didn't even hesitate this time. They ran. The chase continued through tunnels that grew narrower and darker. Adam's breath burned in his chest, and his legs felt like lead. Behind them, the sound of pursuit never stopped. Finally, the queen led him through a crack in the stone. A hidden path so tight, Adam had to turn sideways to fit. On the other side, the air was fresher, colder. They emerged into another chamber, this one smaller but filled with strange machinery. Glowing faint blue, the queen released his hand at last and turned to face him. They won't follow us here, she said. Adam leaned against the wall, gasping for breath. He looked at her through the dim blue light. Why are you doing this? You could have killed them all, but you keep running. The queen's eyes met his. Because I don't want to kill them. I want them to see what they've done. And you will help me. Adam's breath caught. Help you? How? She stepped closer, placing her hand on his chest again. By showing them that one of their own chose me. That one of their own became mine. Adam felt the warmth spreading through him again, his mind clouding with her presence. You'll never let me go, will you? He asked. Her answer was simple. No. Above them, faintly, the sound of soldiers still echoed through the tunnels. But Adam knew now he wasn't going back. Not ever. Asterisk the hidden truth. The air in the hidden chamber was cool and sharp, and it smelled faintly of metal and earth. Adam leaned against the strange blue-lit wall, his chest heaving, his clothes soaked with sweat and dust. The queen stood in front of him, calm as ever. Her glow was softer now, her hair falling like liquid silver down her shoulders. You can rest now, she said, her voice echoing in his mind. Adam shook his head. No, not until you tell me the truth. Everything. No more riddles. The queen's eyes narrowed slightly, but then she nodded. Very well. She gestured for him to follow. They walked deeper into the chamber. The walls here were covered in strange alien markings, not just lines and symbols, but moving shapes, like shadows caught in stone. Finally, they entered a vast, round hall. At its center stood a tall crystal pillar, pulsing faintly with light. Around the pillar lay dozens of what looked like pods, their surfaces cracked and faded. Adam stopped, staring at them. What is this place? The queen stood by the pillar, her long fingers brushing its surface. This was our sanctuary, she said softly. The last refuge of the Valari. My people. Adam walked closer, his boots crunching on the dusty floor. But it's empty. Her voice dropped lower, heavy with something he didn't understand. Yes, because they are gone. All of them. Earned by your kind. Hunted, erased. Adam swallowed hard. You mean the humans killed everything, she finished for him. Her eyes glimmered with anger, but also with something else, sorrow. Adam looked at the pods again, realizing. Now they weren't just empty. They were graves. You were hiding here, he said quietly. We were surviving here, she corrected. Until your soldiers found us. And then? Her voice trailed off, but in Adam's mind, images burst to life. Cities of silver and crystal, burning under human bombardment. Veilari children running through the streets as flames consumed everything. And at the center of it all, her, the last queen, standing on the ruins, watching her world collapse. Adam stumbled back, the visions too much to bear. Stop, he said, covering his face, but her voice stayed firm. You wanted the truth. Now you see it. He lowered his hand slowly, meeting her gaze. Why didn't you fight back? He asked. For the first time, she looked away. We did, but we were not made for war. We were made to guide, to create, to protect life, not destroy. Adam's jaw tightened. Then why did you take me? Why didn't you just kill me? She turned back to him, her expression unreadable. Because you are not like the others. You looked at me, and you didn't turn away. You heard me, and you didn't run. Adam shook his head. You keep saying that, but I'm still human. I'm still one of them. The queen stepped closer, her glow brighter now. Not anymore. Adam froze. What do you mean? She raised her hand and touched his chest again. The warmth spread through him, stronger than before. His vision blurred, and then cleared. He gasped. His hands. His skin shimmered faintly, like hers. The glow was faint, but it was there. What did you do to me? He demanded. Her voice softened. I saved you. I marked you. You carry my light now. Adam backed away, shaking his head. No, I didn't. I didn't ask for this. Her expression hardened. You didn't have to. You chose me the moment you stayed, the moment you let me inside your mind. He sank to the floor, holding his head in his hands. Above them, faint sounds of distant shouting and boots echoed again. The soldiers were still searching for him. The queen looked toward the sound, her eyes darkening. They will come here. And when they do, you must choose again. Adam looked up at her, his voice shaking. What do you want me to do? She extended her hand toward him, her fingers long and elegant. Stand with me. Show them what they've done. Show them what we can become. Adam stared at her hand, then at the pods, then at his faintly glowing fingers. You want me to fight? My own people, he said flatly. Her voice was soft but sharp as a blade. No, I want you to help me end this war. The way it should have ended long ago. Adam stood slowly, still staring at his hands. And if I don't? He asked. Her eyes flashed dangerously. Then you die with them. The ground suddenly shook. Louder now, closer. Explosions rocked. The tunnels above. Dust rained down from the ceiling. Adam stumbled, but stayed standing. You can't stop them all, he said. Her gaze was steady. No, she admitted. But we can. Then she stepped closer and placed her hand firmly over his heart. Warmth flooded him, but this time there was something else too. A rush of energy, sharp and fierce, like a fire awakening inside him. His body glowed brighter now, veins of light running across his arms and chest. Adam gasped, gripping the edge of the crystal pillar to keep from falling. What is this? He demanded. Her lips curved into the faintest smile. The truth, she whispered. You are no longer just human. You are mine. And you are ready. Above them, the shouting turned to screaming. The sound of battle filled the tunnels. The queen turned toward the entrance, her silver form blazing like a star. "They're here," she said calmly. Adam stood beside her, his hands still glowing, his breath ragged. "What happens now?" He asked. Her eyes glowed brighter, and her voice rang in his mind like a bell. "Now, we show them what it means to wake a queen." Asterisk the final choice. The chamber shook under the weight of explosions above. Dust fell like snow from the curved ceiling. The faint blue lights flickered and dimmed as heavy boots pounded closer. Adam stood beside the queen, his hands still glowing faintly with her strange light. Her presence was overwhelming now, no longer just a whisper in his mind, but a storm that filled the entire room. Her silver form blazed like a sun. "They're almost here," Adam said, his voice tight. Her eyes glowed brighter as she stared at the dark entrance ahead. "Let them come." The first soldiers burst into the chamber, rifles raised, shouting. "Orders." Flashlights cut through the dim blue glow of the sanctuary. Adam froze when he saw Sergeant Cole at the front, his face twisted in anger and disbelief. "Adam!" Cole shouted. "Step away from it. Now!" Adam didn't move. The queen turned slightly, her voice calm but sharp in his mind. "This is the moment. Choose me or die with them." More soldiers poured in, forming a half circle around them. Cole's eyes darted to Adam's glowing hands. "What the hell did it do to you?" he demanded. "We can fix this. You're still one of us." Adam swallowed hard. His chest rose and fell with each shaky breath. Behind him, the queen's warmth pulsed through him like a heartbeat. "You know the truth now," she whispered. "They don't want to save you. They want to erase you, like they erased us." Adam looked at the soldiers, the fear in their eyes, the trembling in their hands as they aimed their rifles. He looked at the queen, radiant, calm, waiting. Cole took a step forward. "Don't make me shoot you, Adam. Last chance. Step away." Adam closed his eyes. The noise of the soldiers faded. All he could hear now was her voice. "You belong to me." When he opened his eyes again, they glowed like hers. The soldiers opened fire. Bullets screamed through the chamber, but none of them reached him. The queen raised her hand, and an invisible barrier flared to life. Bullets bounced harmlessly away, clattering to the floor. Adam felt her energy surging through him now, stronger than ever. The ground beneath him cracked and glowed faintly where he stood. Cole stumbled backward, his eyes wide. "What are you?" Adam stepped forward slowly, his hands crackling with light. "I don't know anymore," he said quietly. Then the queen's voice roared in his mind. "Show them." Adam raised his hands, and a wave of force burst from his body, sweeping across the chamber like a hurricane. Soldiers were thrown off their feet, rifles torn from their hands. Lights shattered, the air filled with dust and screams. When it cleared, Adam stood alone in the center, surrounded by soldiers groaning on the ground. Cole crawled backward, still staring at him. "Why?" he whispered. Adam stared down at his own hands, still glowing, still alive with her power. "Because," Adam said, his voice steady now, "she's right. You would have killed me too." The queen stepped up beside him, placing her hand on his shoulder. Her silver glow spread over him like a second skin. "You've chosen," she said softly. Adam turned to face her fully now, the fear finally gone from his eyes. "What happens now?" Her expression softened, though her eyes still burned bright. "Now, we leave this place. Together." Outside the tunnels, the ground shook again, but not from human bombs this time. The sanctuary walls cracked and shifted as hidden doors opened, revealing a long, dark path leading deeper underground. The queen took his hand, and they began to walk. Behind them, Cole and the others watched, too weak and too afraid to stop them. Adam didn't look back. As they walked down the endless passage, the air changed, warmer, more alive somehow. Strange lights danced on the walls. Alien machines hummed softly in the distance. Finally, they emerged into a vast underground cavern, bigger than anything Adam had imagined. Above them was a black sky full of stars. But he knew this wasn't the surface. This was her world. Or what was left of it. Dozens of glowing figures like her stood waiting in the shadows, faint, quiet, but watching. Adam stopped, his breath catching in his throat. "You said you were the last," he whispered to her. She smiled faintly. "I was, until you." He turned to face her, his hands still glowing faintly in the strange air. "Then, what am I now?" he asked. She reached up and touched his cheek. "Mine." Then she stepped forward and kissed his forehead, and a rush of heat and light surged through him, filling every corner of his mind. The cavern blazed to life, and the others stepped forward, bowing slightly to him. Adam understood then. He wasn't just hers. He was theirs now. The human soldier was gone. In his place stood something new, something ancient and powerful, carrying both human and Velari light. Above them, the walls rumbled one last time as the tunnels behind them collapsed. Queen turned, her silver eyes bright with something close to pride. "Come, Adam," she said. "We have a world to rebuild." And hand in hand, they walked into the glowing dark. Together. Forever. The end.